played the full 90 was Kyle Walker tonight, who also played 90 against Arsenal. You may recall that Kyle Walker was one of the very few City players who didn't go on international duty in the September break. OK, well, let's go back to the studio where we can get the thoughts of David James, who is with FG.
Yes, thank you very much to Ali and Kit. Great work on comms, as always. Well, second half, Manchester City full-time score, Manchester City 2, Watford 1. A second half of many chances for Manchester City, and then a goal by Watford and a great goal.
But to be fair, I think the prediction of, like, 3 or 4 goals was still the right way of looking at it. The chances that we've had posts, fantastic goalkeeping, some fantastic blocks to stop City scoring that third goal, and then Thomas Ince with a peach curling in that top corner. And I think you were saying when we were watching, for the Watford travelling fans to be able to see such a wonderful goal. Yes, they've been knocked out of the Carabao Cup, but what a goal from Thomas Ince as well. So an eventful second half. We're quite used to eventful second halves in the last 48 hours, for the 72 hours. So in keeping with the current trend, it was a good game of football.
Yeah, absolutely, a great game of football. And speaking of Tom Ince, it was the goal that everyone will talk about. What about the goal line clearance from the Savinho shot? Oh. Headed it off the line, a ball that was destined for the back of the net. It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was. There were 4 shots in the space of, what, 15 seconds there, I think. I think McAtee had a shot, Foden had a shot, came to Savinho. Oh no, Nunes first shot, goalkeeper save, then Rico Lewis with a block, then Savinho, goal line clearance, Nunes putting it over the bar. I mean, everyone, I think, was expecting that ball to move the net, but great defending. Yeah, great defending indeed. There was another chance as well, a good block on the line by the goalkeeper from Jack Grealish. There was chance after chance in that second half. Yeah, and I think, of course, at the end it was a little bit nervy, because at 2-1, only takes a wonder strike or another wonder strike perhaps to get the draw. But in the end, I mean, the amount of chances created for City would have been very encouraging, not just for the players, but I think Pep overall as well. So, good performance. Good performance, and another performance from another academy graduate, Jacob Wright, coming on for Nico O'Reilly in the second half. It's so good to see the hard work of this club's academy paying off, because they're coming on and they look brilliant, don't they? Yeah, it was seamless. I think that was the fitting thing. I mean, as you say, it's difficult to tell. I didn't actually see the substitution being made, so until you mentioned it, it was kind of, or Ali mentioned it in commentary there, you're kind of thinking this team looks the same, and they're young players doing their thing. Yeah, and speaking of Ali, actually, let's go and speak to Ali, man who had the pleasure of commentating on that game so well, like he always does. Ali, thanks for sticking with us. We can see Kit there as well with you. How was the performance from down where you were?
Yeah, I mean, for long periods of that game, City were in complete control, and it was a matter in your mind of how many they were going to score. But you mentioned the clearance off the line. Bond made a few saves. O'Reilly put one by the post. Savinho hit the inside of the post. And when that third goal doesn't come in, you always get that little niggle in the back of your mind. And then when Tom Ince planted that ball in the back of the net, there was about 4 or 5 nervy minutes that there didn't really need to be. But let's be honest, apart from that, it was such a seamless performance. 9 players brought in tonight, many of them playing for the first time with any meaningful minutes. And let's have a word for Kaden Braithway as well. I mean, he looked so comfortable and so relaxed, and just looked as though he was a first-team player in waiting. And I'm so pleased for him, and I'm sure his family are just so proud at the moment. It was a shame that cramp got the better of him, but apart from that, I thought he was just seamless. I mean, Kit, from what you saw of him, I'm sure the first genuine look at him, he looks a player, doesn't he? He does. He's as I said, physicality-wise, he's a big lad. He can more than hold his own physically, and it looked so comfortable on the ball, and looked really accomplished there tonight. Like you say, very comfortable. Didn't try and force things with his passing. Kept the ball very, very well, and looks like he's going to be a real good player for Man City for many years to come. I don't know. I mean, from my point of view, because I'm lucky enough to watch the under-18s and the under-19s and the EDS, and I see these boys, you're never sure which one of them Pep's going to sort of pick out and give a go to, but he does seem to get it right when he chooses them, doesn't he?
Well, he certainly. I mean, Rico Lewis being a prime example. You look at him now. He was playing in the academy. It seems like 5 minutes ago, and now he looks like a really established first-team player in such a short space of time. So, the good habits that are instilled in them from a young age are clear to see, and they pay rewards them when they reach this first-team level. And I say he's one of many coming through now. So it's looking fantastic for the future.
I just wonder, you know, you're a manager at the highest level, a coach at the highest level. When you have those little drills, because I know young players come in and sort of in and around the first team, and they kind of supplement them when they're doing set-piece routines and so on. When you're watching your senior players, do you have a genuine eye on the young players who are supplementing what's going on the training field?
I certainly always did, but I came from an academy background as well. When I was manager at Fulham, I'd done the under-18s and the under-21s leading into it, so I very much had an eye. Some clubs don't, I don't think, to be fair, so much, because the focus is on their first team and the manager's worried about his position and they need results immediately. But, you know, the best team in the country and all the world, this manager certainly does, and you can see that. And he wants to get the young players who he thinks are capable of dealing with it up and training with the first team as soon as possible to give them that opportunity. And it's the little details, just the way they pass the ball, the way they wrap it in with really good pace, but taking genuine care for it, and little things like that you can see these young players have got, that's been drilled into them. It becomes a habit, it becomes natural after a while, and it's great to see.
Just a thought, I don't know what you think about it. When Vatadze came on for Watford and started to sort of take the game to City, it was a different match, and you could see the quality. I'm sure you saw him in the Euros. Just the game changed a little bit with his quality, didn't it?
I think there's a good point, Ali, because I think that Tom Cleverley was almost playing it's a well-used phrase, but a 10-minute match. I mean, granted the team were losing 2-0, but by putting his stronger players on, as you said in commentary, these are the first team regulars that he's put on. He's actually improved Watford for those last sort of 10, 15 minutes of the game, where City were kind of doing it the other way, if you like, bringing the younger players on. So it gave Watford a better advantage, or a better chance of creating it. As you said, yes, he's a top player, did very well in the Euros as well. What I thought was interesting, though, and I don't know if, obviously, when you're doing the commentary, if you sort of saw it the way I did, but McAtee didn't get the opportunities to have the shots because most of the shots in the game were from Savinho and Nunes, and it was kind of, in a way, I felt for him because he was doing all the creative work, even for the 2 goals, but didn't get the real chance to get the shots off. I'm not sure if you saw that when you were doing the commentary, or felt that.
Yeah, no, fair point. Yeah, I mean, fair point, and I suspect that Pep would have seen that what McAtee did up to the final third was very, very good. And there was one point in the second half, or maybe it was the first, I can't remember, when he lost, no, it was the second half, he lost the ball and then he tracked back and won it back. And his appetite to impress is there. He's played like 100 games for Sheffield United. Yes, I know he's not done much for City, but this will have been a big opportunity that he wanted to take tonight, wouldn't it?
It would, and his best opportunity or chance in the game came right in the very first minute, I think, when he just miscued for a real good cutback or good ball to him. So that would have frustrated him a little bit, I think. But his overall game was very good, and like you say, that desire as well when he did lose the ball to get back in. And that's brilliant. That's what you see from all the wide players who play for City as well, and the players in that number 10 position. The work rate and the effort to get back in and defend for the team is excellent.
Well, Kit, alongside me on commentary you today, thank you for your company. I think that's us for the evening. I'll hand you back to FG, who's more than in good hands with David James.
I am indeed. Thank you so much to Kit and to Ali. Well, we know where Kit went then.
Yeah, so we didn't upset him then?
So we didn't upset him, which is always good to know. Look, we have to look ahead now because Manchester City are into the next round of the Carabao Cup. There will be another Carabao Cup fixture coming up. I think the draw is tomorrow. But let's look ahead to the Premier League. We are back in Premier League action this Saturday. The early kick-off at St James's Park. Newcastle United away. Never an easy place to go. No, and with Newcastle getting beat on the weekend as well, there'll be even more reason why, if it tends to happen, is that the team will want to put in a better performance because that was unexpected.
It's going to be tough. Not something, obviously, that City won't be able to handle. But it'd be interesting today, looking at first of all, the starting lineup, the players involved, because there were a couple of very experienced players for City there. And then with one of the substitutions in particular, with Savinho coming on and Doku going off, whether or not Pep is positioning things for the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Newcastle actually had their fixture postponed. They were supposed to play Wimbledon. There was a problem with the pitch. You might have seen it across social media. How much does that matter, of course, not having that extra game in the week and having the full week to prepare for a fixture like that?
The easy answer is, they've had a bit of a rest. But the problem that Newcastle have is that their sports science team would have planned all of their training around playing the game. So rest periods and high intensity periods are important in any build-up for the game. So now Newcastle will actually be disrupted themselves. So it won't be as simple as, they didn't play on Tuesday or Wednesday. They will be slightly out of rhythm. So that possibly could go in City's favour.
Because I imagine at some point they probably were preparing for that fixture.
Sports science has every day broken down into minutes almost, and Newcastle's preparation would have been geared around that game, rest periods after, build-up and so on and so forth. So there will be some disruption for them that way.
And of course, Newcastle did lose to Fulham at the weekend, away at Craven Cottage. They're back at St James's Park. They're in a position now where they had such a great season the season before last when they were in the Champions League. They had a great run in the Champions League, got so close in the groups. They're looking, of course, to get themselves back into the Champions League. It's a massive opportunity, and with it being an early kick-off, I want to ask you about early kick-off tax. A lot of people speak about it, so let's ask the pros, shall we? Kicking off at 12:30. Some people say you have pasta for breakfast. The whole preparation is different. Is it as different?
Who has pasta before a game?
Pasta for breakfast, I've heard. Well, maybe not the goalkeepers, actually.
Maybe in 1995, yeah. I mean, the pasta on the day of the game makes no difference whatsoever. You have to have it the day before the game. I would have whatever I had pre-match for breakfast, yeah.
Is that a bit different, though, doing it at 9 a.m. rather than in the afternoon? No. For some people, is it?
For some people, yeah. I mean, for City players, I mean, they're quite used to having early kickoffs, aren't they? I think, pasta for breakfast, no. Well, only because I don't eat pasta on the day of the game.
Oh, OK, well, that's good. Listen, we have got an interview potentially coming to you very soon, and it's one that you have to wait for here on Match of Life, because we're super excited to listen to the thoughts of the young man. As we see the pictures there of Pep speaking to Kaden in the dressing room, he must be so happy, Kaden, right now.
Oh, look at that smile. I mean, he's buzzing, yeah. And he played well, very well, so deservedly so.
Deservedly so. He did get cramp for a 16-year-old. You could sort of let him
well, that's maybe because he had pasta pre-match.
Maybe it was. I mean, pasta in the afternoon's not bad, though. I've obviously had quite a bit of pasta. Let's go back to St James's Park. And last season, of course, a man who unfortunately won't be involved in the fixture scored a last-minute winner, Oscar Bob. And what a moment that was for him. What a moment that was for Kevin De Bruyne on a return from injury. All in all, that fixture last year was a memorable one, wasn't it?
And a massively important one as well, because, I mean, we're talking about sort of periodically bringing players into full fitness, and Kevin De Bruyne, I don't think, was expected to be brought in as soon as he was, and his impact being brought back in was pivotal towards Manchester City winning the league. But the Oscar Bob moment, the new Phil Foden.
I mean, look, we wish Oscar so well in his recovery. He started off so well, but he was incredible that day. But that goal, the composure,
everything about it
was sensational, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, I said pre-season here that this was going to be, and he's still got the great chance to have a fantastic season. But he showed in that one moment what his capabilities were, and this pre-season, I think he'd lived up to that moment and was ready to kick on again. So good memories. A bit more of that on the weekend. We'll be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's just quickly touch on the fact that everything that happened on Sunday in the league is now an added pressure for this group of City players. There's been a lot of talk online and social media from both camps. Extra motivation or extra pressure?
Motivation.
I like that.
Who feels pressure here?
I mean, the players of this club don't really feel pressure, right? But when you're going away to St James's Park and you're going to a very difficult place, I mean, 3 points is vital. To add pressure to Arsenal in the title race?
Well, yeah, I mean, Arsenal are a team that feel pressure, you can tell that. Yeah, City don't feel pressure, Arsenal seem to feel it a lot. But I think for City, again, the way that they came back and the comment I think which was mentioned a lot was, even though it was a draw, it might have felt like a win. We saw the performance today, even though it was 2-1, it was a very dominant performance, and it just feels like the squad are confident, and going to St James's Park, they'll take that confidence with them.
Well, OK, we're not going to keep you waiting any longer. We are going to finish today's show, the Matchday Live show. First of all, David James, thank you so much.
Thank you
for being a part of it. Thank you to Kit as well. Unfortunately, he got me with us towards the end. But we are ending with an interview from the man of the moment. 16-year-old Kaden Braithway spoke to us. But thank you for watching us Matchday Live. We'll be back on Saturday.
Kaden, congratulations on your Manchester City debut.
Thank you.
How does that feel tonight?
Yeah, it's a dream come true, to be fair. Like, I've just been preparing for this moment my whole life, and just to do it today was just unbelievable for both me and my family.
Were your family here tonight to watch?
Yeah, they were in the crowd. I don't even know where they were, but they were there supporting.
How do you think they'll feel?
I think they'll just be proud more than anything. Like, obviously, my dad, majority, just taking me to training, and my mum's always been there cheering, supporting as well on the sidelines. So, yeah, they'll just be buzzing.
When did you get the news that you'd start tonight?
Today. I got it today, like, in like one of the meetings that Pep does. But yeah, just took in my stride.
What did he say to you? Anything in particular before the game?
Nothing. He just said like he doesn't mind if I make mistakes and stuff like that. Just as long as I work hard and run, that's all that he cares about.
And you were one of 6 academy players out there tonight. How inspiring has it been for you to see the likes of Phil and Rico make that step before you?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, especially knowing how difficult it is and what they've been through. Like, we're going through the same thing now, so yeah, it's unbelievable, and yeah, I'm lost for words.
And do you think more opportunities this season if you keep working hard?
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. Obviously, just as you say, just keep working hard and never know.
Congratulations tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.